Hey guys, happy Monday. Happy week of crossing over. Oh my goodness. Some days it felt like virtual school was taking a really long time, and then in some ways it felt like it went by really fast. So actually our crossing over will be on Zoom this Friday at 2 p.m. just like we had on the schedule, just a little different because it won't get to be in person. But Ms. Kunenberg and I are doing our best to still make it be special for you guys, so some of the things we'll be doing this week in our group Zooms will actually have to do with our crossing over. So starting with the thing that I know you love to do, or maybe you just like to do it instead of do your math and language work, is make paper chains. And in tomorrow's Zoom, I'll tell you what we're gonna do, what you can do with the paper chains, but as you know, you cut paper into strips, and you have paper in your work packets, 2 colors. You have other colors if you want to use magazines, newspaper, if you can handle touching newspaper, that's a whole nother story. You know how I feel about that, but you can make yourself a paper chain or 2. So you start by cutting strips. Now, what I might do is stack these. It will make it go more quickly. So cut them. I would call what this is landscape, this is portrait. Cut them any way you want. I am going to cut them, I guess holding it landscape. So in my brain, I'm holding the paper horizontally, I'm cutting vertically. Up to you, cut them how you want. But you want to make strips. And then this is like a pretty easy thing if you have a stapler at home, but we realize that not everyone has a stapler. It's sort of a teachery thing to have at home, not really I think most people don't have staplers at your house. If you don't have a stapler, that's fine. That's actually why we gave you some masking tape in your packet. One of the things that you can use it for is these paper chains. Now, of course, don't use an unnecessary amount of tape because that's wasteful and you don't want to waste it. But if you want to secure your ends with tape because you don't have a stapler, feel free to use that masking tape. That's what it's for, and other things. So we're gonna have you guys do a couple activities this week, actually, with the tape, and then we would like you, if at all possible, if you can remember to turn it back in. As you know, we hang lots of things with it during the year, and we will use it, but we wanted to be sure everyone had access to it for certain activities. So yes, please do turn it back in when you are finished with it. If you can remember to do that, that would be lovely. But yes, the paper chains are not the only use for the masking tape. It's just what we're using it for today. So as I am talking, I am cutting, and now I'm done with my papers. Now I don't have quite as many. I've got yellow and pink and orange, and you guys have 2 colors. I of course can't remember what I gave to whom. I tried to give you colors you wouldn't hate at least. But you make your paper into a ring. If you have a handy dandy stapler, you staple it. Then you've got an O. Then you make another O. Now actually I am a little bit regretting cutting my strips like this because if I would have cut them the other way they would have been longer and my chain would have gotten longer faster. Now I'm gonna have to make a whole lot of circles to make my chain any bit of length. So, here I go. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do all of this, but yes, so learn from my mistakes and cut your paper long ways to make your life easier. I mean, unless you, like I said, some of you seem to really enjoy this. If you want to spend 3 hours making paper chains, have at it. As long as you're caught up on your work, I do not care how long you spend doing these paper chains. It is one of the ways to be celebratory. Now, I'm making a pattern. I am going to run out of yellow eventually, which is okay. So, I gave you paper in your packets. We gave you paper in your packets. Feel free to make these. And in a later Zoom, I will show you actually what to do with it. Now, use any kind of paper you have. It is probably actually better if you used newspaper or old magazines or something recyclable. That's better for the world. If you do make a paper chain and you want to save it for your birthday party and use it as a decoration, or for your mom's birthday, or your dad's, or Father's Day, or something like that, that's cool too. But here we go. We have the start of a paper chain. I am going to finish it another time, and you will see what we're doing with another Zoom. Now, the other thing is, when your parents picked up your work packets for this week, they were instructed to pick out one tiny poster board and one bigger poster board. And I'm leaving this up to you guys as far as which poster board is for which thing. One of the poster boards is to celebrate you and your new grade. And the other poster board is to make a demonstration poster as if you were attending. So we read a peaceful protest book. We talked about the Black Lives Matter and what's going on in the world. The other poster is going to for you guys to make a demonstration sign as if you were attending one of those socially distanced demonstrations. So I don't care if you use the smaller, I don't care which one goes for what, because they are really they're both for you, except one of them really is to celebrate you. So one of them has like a rainbowy border, that one's smaller, and then the other one's a little bigger, but it's all just white. And what you're going to do with it is decorate it to celebrate you, and it's going to go in your car window, if you would like. For when you cross into your new grade, remember we are going to do a car crossing in addition to our virtual Zoom. So you will get to make a poster that celebrates you. So the things that have to be on your poster are your name in big bold letters. We don't need your full name. Your first name is just fine, and your new grade. So I don't get much practice writing block letters, but I'm going to do some block letters. So Miss, S's are kind of tricky. Miss Blanchette. Also, drawing on a whiteboard is tricky. Do not smear it on my hands. But you might do something like this. Now, you do not have to do bubble letters, but do make it legible. And nice and big. If you put your name in teeny tiny letters, people aren't going to be able to see it. So Miss Blanchette, I'm running out of space, so make sure you plan for the amount of space you have. If your name has 5 letters and you do your first letter right in the middle, you might run out of space. So I should have sort of thought about that. Miss Blanchette. And maybe my real poster would look like this. Also, I'm just out of real posters, so I'm showing you what it would look like on a board. This is the thing I need, as well as my grade, which we're going to say is 17th grade. Grade. Hooray for me. And then if this was all that was on my poster, it would look super boring. So you are free to decorate it however you'd like. Think of it almost like your art portfolio, you guys. We just ask that the ideas be original. Your creative ideas, don't draw something someone else has drawn. Draw on it, paint on it, collage it. If you want to do something with tie-dye coffee filters, or you remember Miss Melody taught us pointillism, I think, where you make the dots, like whatever you guys want to decorate it with to make it shiny and bright and yours. If you have glitter at your house and you want to use glitter, get rid of some stuff. Like, the poster is yours to celebrate you, so do what you want. Just make sure your name is on there and kind of a focal point. I probably would be filling in my letters with some colors or some patterns. I think if I had time, I definitely, in my own poster, not drawing on the board, I would probably do each letter with a different pattern. If I had all the colors of a rainbow, there most certainly would be a rainbow on mine. I would draw a sun because I love the sun. Well, also, as you know, I love the palm trees. I would draw a palm tree. I might put a quote on here. some kind of quote that I find inspiring, and I would write the quote kind of small. It really, the quote is for me, not for passersby. Passersby, my name in the grade. So I might find a quote I like. Be creative with it. I'm sort of curious to see what you guys come up with. I think you can make unique things. You could make it into, you know, a Mesozoic era filled with all the different creatures living that, like, do something that makes you happy and represents you. This is not really for anyone else. It's just for you. So make it beautiful. Make it something you like. If you have a really good idea for your poster, I'm gonna do this, and I have glitter, and I think you should use glitter. If you have an idea that you think is a really great idea and you want to share it with your friends, like, feel free to comment on this link on Google Classroom to give them some ideas. Remember that sharing ideas, if your friends use your idea, it's not necessarily copying if you share it, right? And everyone has their unique spin on things. So even if I do stripes on my letters and Jenna does stripes on her letters, it doesn't mean that she copied me. It means she heard about my idea and liked it and maybe thought it was a good one. You should take it as a compliment. And of course, no one's is going to look the same because we're not the same artists. So even if you guys tried to make yours look exactly like mine with a sun and some waves and a palm tree, it's not going to look like mine because we all draw differently. So yes, share ideas if you like. I will be excited to see what you did to celebrate yourself, and we'll look forward to that on Friday in our car crossing. So like I said, either poster is fine. Whichever one you don't use for celebrating you, you are going to make a demonstration poster. That is actually part of tomorrow's video. So all right, and oh, here's the other thing is sometimes we feel like we want to get this done right away, and this is just another thing I have to do and I just want to get it done. Please don't do that with this assignment. This isn't really an assignment. Like, this is to celebrate you and honor you. It's different now that we can't do crossing over in person. So this is one of the ways that you get to celebrate all the work you put in this year. So don't think of this as another thing you have to do. Take your time on it. You know, get started. Think about your ideas. Sketch it out maybe ahead of time. Do a little bit each day. That's actually why I'm giving it to you in Monday's group time, so that it doesn't become a last minute thing that you have to throw together before Friday. Take some time on it. And really, like, I'm super excited to see what you guys do. You're all very creative and wonderful. So don't forget, paper chains, poster, and stay tuned for tomorrow. And this week, of course, every new week, we have a new feature composer. And it is, I'm stalling a little bit because I thought I was turned to the right page. This week's feature composer is Franz Schubert. The feature composition is the second movement from Octet in F major. Schubert composed a number of pieces so that he and his musician friends could perform them together just for fun. This octet for winds, 2 oboes, 2 clarinets, 2 bassoons, and 2 horns is just one of his just for fun compositions. Schubert decided to compose this octet around one rhythmic idea, 2 very quick notes followed by a slightly longer one. He makes this playful rhythm run, dart, and bounce around among the instruments. All right, you guys, today is going to be a good day. I can and I will.